Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of PD and P-Dubs Unscripted. P-Dubs, good to be with you.
Hey, great to be with you, PD, and everyone else. Thanks for listening to us again. Hey, we're on a roll, man.
Yeah, this is like over a month straight of new podcasts. I mean, I was thinking it, but I didn't want to say it and jinx us.
Yeah. All right, so I said it.
So yeah, especially as a baseball fan, aren't you not? It's like a perfect game. You can't bring it up to the pitcher.
That's right. Just like Max Scherzer, let him sit on the end of the dugout and nobody talk to him. What? It messes with his mojo.
Well, I think everybody's just afraid to talk to him. I mean, there's been some clips
that guy can look you down and scare you.
And say some choice things. Like, was it one of the more recent in the last month or two of the season or maybe the playoffs? Like, the manager took him out and he had some choice words.
Yeah, that was in the Seattle series.
That's right.
I mean, he was yelling at him, and I was really trying to read lips, but I couldn't successfully do it. But all I thought was, I saw, no way!
Yeah, I think that's where we need a John Boy Media to...
Yeah. That would be great.
Where they can translate what he was saying. But yeah, he is not a happy camper when you take him out of a game.
No.
But he does have that, like, it's like I don't know, it's a creepy, just a stare that just stares daggers and just the face.
Well, it doesn't help that his eyes are two different colors, number one, so that's scary if you're mad at somebody. But yeah, the scowl of his face, and man, I wouldn't want to get in front of that guy.
He is a competitor.
Oh man, I love his passion, and think about how long he's been playing. It's just incredible.
Right, and so, I mean, it was a great World Series.
Yes, it was epic. I called it epic. And I will say, even as a Cub fan who waited my whole life for the Cubs to win the World Series, I think from beginning to end, it was better than the Cubs series.
Like as
drama.
The neutral, no horse in the race.
Mm-hmm.
But a question that I have for you as a baseball guy, and our head elder is talking to me about this, I also heard on a sports podcast. Do you think the guy that was thrown out at home in the 9th inning of Game 7 on the force out would have been safe if he kept running instead of sliding?
Oh, I read somebody say that, and there's always that theory that especially never slide into first base because
it slows you down.
Even if you launch yourself forward in a dive, they say it slows you down. I don't know any facts around whether what is right or what is wrong, but somebody out there must be calculating those things.
Yeah, because I forgot who else on whom they brought up that, it is also different at home because first, second, and third are all raised.
Yes.
And home is flat.
Yes.
So,
the foot can go up over the plate sometimes.
Right.
So, my question back to you on the home plate issue is, does he have to slide? Can he run fully through with the play being at home plate? And I think the answer is, in this case, yes, because the catcher was stretching toward the first base line.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Not like any impeding of the path.
Right, so there would have been no collision.
So if I were an umpire and the runner, Kiner Falafel was his name, if he ran through, I wouldn't have called him out for not sliding, is my interpretation. But there's a lot to be said. And okay, here's another aspect of the running. Because when you see guys running toward first and they do that long leap, that's supposed to slow them down as opposed to keep just running through.
Momentum.
Right. So
yeah, to me, sliding is to kind of beat the tag because you're getting lower, so it makes it harder to tag.
Correct.
And obviously, there's no tag at a force out. But the other thing I keep seeing with that is he had no secondary lead at third.
That's where it was lost. That really was. So he was taking a lead off as far as the third baseman was playing. That's fine for your primary lead. But once that pitch starts going,
you got to creep up.
You got to creep up. You got to start moving. Because he knows on contact he's got to go.
Right. Because if it's fly ball, I think
was there less than 2 outs?
Yes.
Okay.
But I think somebody said the only thing you'd have to worry about that would be if it was a line drive to third with Muncy.
Right.
But they said it was a left-handed hitter, so that's a harder line drive to hit to third, being a lefty. And I don't know, I feel Max Muncy's kind of slow. You should be able to beat him back.
I would think.
But if it's a pop fly, it's easy to get back.
And Muncy was you know where the arc is there? Mm-hmm. He was kind of midway in that arc. So there was a distance between where Muncie was and the third base. So he definitely should have gotten a secondary lead, and that would have won the game.
Right.
And so that's where this game is a game of inches, right? Like the whole, like, it shouldn't have been that close because the catcher pulled his heel up off the plate, and you're like, what's going on? And then he just barely got it down.
Well, even like the other play, I know we talked about some, but we never talked about this one, was the final out of the ninth inning when the two guys nearly collided in left center. That was a heck of a grab as well to chase that down.
Holy cow, that was something else.
And to hold on to it.
Yes, because that was a good collision.
Right.
The left fielder, that poor guy had his feet up in the air and he was getting trucked by the other guy.
Because he was on the ground, I think, for a second or two.
He was. But that's the drama I love of what baseball can bring, and it brought it in spades.
Well, that was like one of our youth who was acolyting this weekend, who's not a big baseball person, because I don't think many of our youth really in our school and confirmation are. This person's big into soccer. Was like, did you watch that game last night? That was pretty a good game. He's like, my friends, we were watching. Like, I couldn't tell if they were watching, or just tracking the box scores that was going on.
Right.
But I'm like, when you're drawing in people that don't care about baseball, I don't know, but as a baseball fan, I'm like, that was great baseball.
Yeah, I said to somebody, I said, baseball won through this World Series. I mean, the draw and the popularity and the drama is gonna increase.
Right.
So yeah, way to go. I truly felt bad for the Blue Jays and their fans because, like, they, as a Cub fan, I've been there. Like, you know, you're so many outs away, or you're so many pitches away.
5 outs away?
5 outs away, yes. And then it just, everything shifts.
And that closer's comment after the game on Saturday was like, I cost these guys a ring in here.
Yeah. And they kept showing Don Mattingly. Don Mattingly has been in baseball for 37 years, and he's never won a World Series, and this is going to be, you know.
What's he do for the Blue Jays?
I don't know if he's the hitting coach or what he is, but he should be. He's a good hitter.
Donnie Baseball.
Yeah. But I did not know he had coached in so many years and then managed so many more.
Was it Marlins manager?
Yeah.
And maybe even a Yankees a little bit?
Probably coaching Yankees. I don't know if he ever was the manager of the Yankees, but I don't keep that close tabs on him. But yeah, it was the old, what do you call that? The jinx. You know, they shouldn't have talked about Mattingly getting ready to win his first World Series because that ruined it.
Okay, so he was the Dodgers coach from 2011 to 2015. Marlins coach from 16 to 22.
You mean head coach?
Yeah, manager.
Okay.
He was a coach for the Yankees 04 to 07, and right now he's with the Blue Jays as a coach.
Yeah.
Bench coach.
Okay.
So, yeah, Donnie Baseball.
Yeah, he looks good for his age. I'm like, man, if I look that good when I'm
He is just a young 64 years old.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking he was older.
64 for...
Wow. He ought to look good because I'm just about a year or so behind.
A little bit more
a little more than that.
But yeah, 307 career batting average. Not too shabby. Like, that's
too shabby.
That's like a world beater's batting average for right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, as much as, you know,
we love talking about this.
A sports podcast would be fun to do.
It's not why we got you here.
So, yeah, but we thought we'd talk about something we're doing special coming up here at Immanuel, and I believe November 30th is the date?
Yeah, November 30th, Sunday. We're calling it the One Church Gathering, and that's just a phrase I started sharing with leadership.
That's going to be viral, that phrase.
Yeah, one church, baby. We are one church. So the church is coming together under the house of God that weekend after Thanksgiving. And we've done this a few times, and the last time was a celebration of our re-campaign. And it was very, very celebratory and joyful, and it seemed to garner a lot of, thumbs up from our folks.
Right. People like to fellowship with one another. Mm-hmm. And I think that is one of the key things about doing it this way, this one service on this weekend is, you know, churches, I mean, Immanuel's not alone in this. If you have multiple church services, people are, this is my church service.
Yeah.
Like, growing up at St. Matthew, we were 8 o'clock people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it wasn't for Sunday school, I would have met my friend Peter, who's been on the podcast, because his family always went to the later service.
Yep.
And if it wasn't for Sunday school, never would have saw him.
Yeah, never the twain shall meet, right?
Right. And so, you know, with having 3 services spread between Saturday and Sunday, people pick and choose and kind of have their set worship services. You don't always get to see everybody.
Yep.
And so this gives an opportunity for everybody to come together as one big church family to worship together and kind of have that fellowship opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot to gain from it in terms of fellowshipping and worshiping together. You know, you make a great point. Like with all the 3 different services, there are 3 different styles at 3 different times. And so, you know, you could say we have 3 little church families under one. Right. And so anytime we can get together as a whole one church body, I think no wonder people enjoy it, because they see, as you say, see people, and then the how do I say this? The participation in the worship is noticeable.
Right.
Like when the house is fuller, it's a joyful thing, right. And sometimes in one of the 3 we could have less, and so it's always wonderful, but like, you know, trying to hear people sing or participate or whatever, you feel like you're missing something.
Well, as we were talking, one thing came to my mind: how long is the pre-service greeting going to go when we say, "Hey, let's greet one another"? You know, it can
we need to build that in, huh? Maybe start 5 minutes earlier
to get that time, because our people like to talk to one another,
They do.
So you know, it seems it's getting longer and longer, which is great to have that fellowship. But it's either like Angie or one of us, like, okay, or Jimmy V playing the organ.
Yeah.
We're gonna start into this next song here, guys.
Well, I think it was Saturday. Like everybody was just hanging out, chit chatting, you know, greeting, and like, you know, Jimmy V's starting to play the piano, and I'm like, all right, y'all, like it's time to start singing here, you know.
So I mean, as pastors, that's great to see that camaraderie and that fellowship amongst our people.
Yep.
But yeah, so it could go a lot longer when
we'll have to build that in maybe. But like culturally, our folks are they're not like right on to the start time of the service, as you and I know, and all of a sudden, you know, when we walk up to make announcements, we're thinking, "Ooh, boy, that's a light crowd." And then by the time somewhere in that first, you know, song
or announcements,
then it starts filling in, and it's like, whew, glad somebody, you know, more people started to come. But yeah, it should be good. And as I said, it's the 5th Sunday of the month, and it's coming right after Thanksgiving. So we were figuring as a worship team, you know, you got families who travel or might not be traveling, but over at other families or friends celebrating Thanksgiving over the weekend, that we might, you know, have a little less at the singular services. So all the more to bring everybody who can and will be there to worship together.
Right. And I share with the worship team that, like, when I was on my vicarage in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, at Redeemer down there in Bartlesville, that this is what our church commonly did when we had 5 Sundays a month, is we do the one service.
Yeah.
And people seem to really enjoy it. And, you know, it's 4 times a year maybe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we just had services there on Sunday, so we didn't even have Saturday, but it was just, boom, one big church service.
Got you. Yeah.
But, you know, people like fellowshipping.
They do. And that's an important aspect, not just in the morning greeting inside of the service, but afterwards, people hanging out, you know, having some snacks and drinks and having an opportunity to have longer discussions apart from just a greeting, hey, how you doing kind of thing. Because I think that really ties into relational bonds, and that's a great thing.
Right, and that's kind of, I'll spoil a little bit because I don't know when it's going to come out, but like some of our tiny table talks, I know a kid asked you about the church, and he said it's about the people. Mm-hmm. It's not the walls. And I know I had kids talk about that, or like, how did the church get built or something? I was like, the bricks, but it is about the people, and the more you get to know your fellow Christian, your fellow brother and sister in Christ, fellow member at your church, just strengthens those relationships with one another, and that is a great thing.
Well, and it's like when we provide an opportunity for this, it reminds me of like friends who haven't seen each other in a while. Like, like you said, they may go to different services. So like all of a sudden they see each other at church on Sunday, and it's like, hey, haven't seen you in a while. Hey, let's catch up. What's going on with you? And they probably might see each other outside of Immanuel on occasion, but this is a special place, and it's a time for really renewed bonding and friendship. So I look forward to it, and I know, as you say, the Immanuel folks like to fellowship.
Right, and so it's going to be a great weekend. So just a note for everybody, we won't have anything on Saturday, because I think at times when we've done something similar, we've offered like a Bible study kind of in the sanctuary at 5 o'clock.
Right.
But we're not doing any of that. No Bible study or no worship on Saturday, so don't come here. The doors are going to be locked, so maybe we'll put a sign on the door just to remind people.
Yeah, and really this is not to like say the other services don't matter. It's really an effort to drive everybody to be together for one weekend. And we understand that some people, that's why they come to Saturdays, that maybe they work on Sunday, but hopefully if we get the word out soon enough, maybe they can make an adjustment just for the 1 week and see like the whole Immanuel family. I think there's a lot to be gained. It's kind of like the perspective of like when our youth are here and they do things together, and to them, this is what they know as the church, right? But when they go to the youth gathering, they see the wider the depth and breadth of the church
that
at
they're
large.
not a small group, that they're part.
Part of something bigger. And so maybe this is a step for our folks who are at each service to say, here's who we are as the whole.
Right.
So hopefully that'll bring some benefits.
Right, and and I don't know if we're doing the Bible study beforehand, the normal 9.
Yeah, I guess
trying to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about that. So it would go from 9:30. My intuition says why not?
Right.
So it's kind of funny that the Bible study group will ask me on certain holiday times. They're like 4th of July. Pastor, 4th of July is this weekend. Are we having Bible study? I'm like, well, I'll be here.
Right.
So yeah, if you're around, come on. So, we could certainly do that because we're always done before service starts. And that's the other thing. We're keeping everybody to come at the 10:30 time because that's what everybody knows that time slot to be. We've tried it in the past, like, let's come at 10 instead of the normal time of 10:30, and that gets people confused. So we're just going to keep it at the 10:30 time slot, so people don't have to think about like, is it 10:30 or 10? Right,
so. And if it goes a little longer, you don't have to worry about a Bears game because the Bears play on Black Friday against the Eagles.
So there you go. Even better confirmation of this particular weekend.
Right, you're not going to be butting up right to the start of kickoff to watch those 5-3 Bears.
All right, so I take that as license for me to have a half-hour sermon as opposed to a 25-minute one.
I give you an hour.
Give you an hour?
I'll give you an hour.
You're so gracious.
And I better start looking for a new call after giving you an hour to preach. And maybe you might have to be after an hour of preaching.
I may have people like looking at their phone and giving me one of these, that I used to get.
Right.
So, but we'll see how that goes. But I'm looking forward to it, and we've been talking in our worship service, our worship team, of like the theme of it, and song selection and style and things like that. So we're hopeful that it will be a blessing to everybody.
Right. That we're trying to take in consideration, that we do have 3 different service styles, and that, all will be kind of represented a little bit.
Yeah. And, the praise team will be there and they will be leading. But it's an opportunity for those who don't normally go to the 10:30 to see our lighting, lighting styles used in a way that they're not used to seeing in their services. So, we've really worked hard to get to this point for our modern worship and utilize the resources that have been provided to us through our ReCampaign, our membership. So it's a time to check that out and to see it on display, and hopefully people will, enjoy, what we bring to that.
Right. And so, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. Just can't wait to see the sanctuary being full and everybody's lifting up their one voice.
Yeah. As the church's one foundation. Ooh, there we go.
There you go.
I think that's a hymn.
I believe so. Look at us. We're great pastors.
Oh, I tell you. Yeah. I'll just stop right there.
But yeah, so I don't know if I've got anything else really on that.
No. Yeah, I'll be coming back from a little time away, and hopefully I'll remember to I'll be out in the woods, where I don't shave every day, so hopefully I'll remember to shave.
And hopefully it's not too cold up in those woods, or is that better probably for you?
It's better. Yes, it is better, because when it's so warm, we're talking about I go on a little deer excursion in Wisconsin. So when it's warm, deer have a tendency not to move around. They'll just kind of bed down and be like, yeah, it's nice out today. But if it's too cold, then they hunker down. So it's got to be somewhere.
Sweet spot.
Yeah.
But as a hunter, you probably prefer it to be a little bit warmer so you're not as cold up in that deer stand.
I don't mind it being warmer, I'll tell you that. Had plenty of time up there freezing. I feel like a popsicle up there. And, you try and hang in there as long as you can. And it's like, I have to move. And so you get down and then you warm up as you walk around. But I was practicing my walking the other day. Saturday, we were down to one car.
Oh, yeah.
Did I tell you this story?
Yes.
All right. It's worth telling because it's a little bit of a chuckle, if it's okay. So Gwen had to take the one available car to Lake Geneva to meet some friends for breakfast. And I said, okay, I'm going to call up one of our members who I know comes into the early Saturday. So I call him, hey, are you passing by? Can you pick me up? Oh, yeah, no problem. So I got there because I had a premarital session. And he goes, well, how are you going to get back? I said, I don't know. I'll figure it out. And he was staying the rest of the day. So he's like, well, I could take you back. I'm like, no, that's an hour out of your time. No, I'll figure it out. So I get done, look up the train schedule. Oh, I can pick up the 11:30 train, and I can either get to Barrington in like 5 minutes or get to Fox River Grove in 8 minutes or whatever that it is. And so my house is, I mapped it out, 7 miles away from the Barrington station or 5 miles away from the Fox River Grove. So, and then if you go on Waze, you can see how long will it take to walk? Well, from Barrington, it was going to say it'd take me 3 hours to walk from Barrington to my house.
That sounds about right, because I'm just thinking, like, when I do my morning walks, if I get motivated, like a day I don't have to come into the office and do a 6-mile walk, it's roughly about 2 hours.
Yeah. So Fox River Grove was a 2-hour walk. So I'm like, I know I don't have much going on today. I'm going the 2-hour walk. So I went there and then I got off and I'm like, I'm going to check what Uber costs us because I'll be lazy. $28 from Fox River Grove to my house.
I thought it was going to be like $5-10.
Yeah, I would have gladly hired him. I'm like, $28? No way. I'm walking. It's a beautiful day. I'm enjoying my walk through the grove,
And you went up the hill by the water tower and down the hill by the water tower?
On the sidewalk.
Yeah,
I did. So it was nice. And then I cut through that little soccer field by the school.
By ARS, Gongo School. I've spent plenty of hours there and on that playground.
So I thought I'm going to, minimize my steps. So then I go up what is known as River Road, heading toward Algonquin, and it's a little bit of a windy road.
Not a lot of sidewalks on that road.
No. And, sometimes people don't care that you're walking right there. They are not moving their car over.
And there's some tight turns there.
Yes, there is. So I got to Church Street, which there's this cemetery on the one side of the road, and Church Street kind of goes toward my house, and then it makes a right-hand turn and goes out to Hager's Bend. And I thought, well, I'm going to go up there, and I know there's a big farmer's field. And if I angle myself, if I walk through the farmer's field, I'll cut out a lot of distance by going angular to Hager's Bend and Spring Creek Road.
Is that like the 4-way stop there with the farm in the corner?
Yes.
If that's where I'm thinking, that is the farm where my grandfather was born, because
Really?
that was like...
Yes, you've said that.
Yeah, that they owned it, but my great-grandparents weren't good farmers, so they sold the property. I'm like, that would have been nice to still have.
So I'm going to confess right now on live podcast that I trespassed.
And I don't know who...
I don't know Grandpa's, previous property.
Yeah, I don't know who owns it now, but yeah, that was, the Jers family out that way.
So when I got on the corner of Church and Church, when it makes that turn, there's a sign, because there was a guy walking his dogs ahead of me, and he kept looking back on me like, who are you? And I'm carrying my computer bag with me, and his dogs were woofing at me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm still here. I'm walking on the side of the road. And so he goes into that farmer's field, and there's like a trail. I'm like, well, if he can go in there, I can certainly go in there. There's a sign that says, you're able to walk in here, just don't bring an ATV or snowmobiles. So I'm like, all right, he's going straight. I'm going the angle. And I'm, walking around. And I get about halfway through, and I'm like, I don't know. There's this big barn up there. What am I going to do? I don't know if there's people in the barn. I look, and I see this road. It's like a gravel road. And I go, I wonder if that's somebody's driveway. So I go over to the driveway, and I think, this will take me out to Spring Creek Road. I even looked on Waze. Yep. Well, I could go one way and it would take me there, or I could go past the barn and it turns and goes on to Spring Creek. So I'm like, I'm going to go past the barn. So I'm walking down this road. So I'm walking down this driveway that's pretty long. And I'm thinking, what am I going to say if somebody sees me? Like, what are you doing here? Do I act like, I don't know? Or do I just come out and say the truth? And I thought, I'm just going to tell them the truth. Well, nobody was on the property at all. And the road turns into a driveway that goes out to Spring Creek Road. And I'm like, all right, this is working out great. Nobody's around. But it's a gated driveway. And it's got that white fence now. I'm like, well, I'm not going to climb over the fence because I don't want to damage the fence. And I'm like, all right, here's a spot under the fence that I think if I shimmy underneath, I can get under. So I'm right by the gate.
So I didn't know this part.
Yeah. And on the other side of the fence is like all these flowers and things like this, shrubbery. And so I throw my bag under the fence. I get on my back and I shimmy under the fence. And I'm in dirt. Well, I'm on my back and I hear this car coming. And it's like slowing down. And I'm like, oh no. What do? Do I just lay here in the dirt?
Well, then you're going to scare the people. They're going to think you're dead.
Yeah, they're going to think I'm dead. And so I decided I'm just going to get up and act normal as I can. I stand up and the car goes right by me. And I'm thinking, what are they thinking? Are they going to stop and say, what are you doing? Like,
local pastor caught trespassing.
Thankfully, they kept going. I dusted the dirt off my pants and kept walking. So I get to that corner that I was angling toward, and I look on the phone, and I see Gwen's already home. I'm a mile away from home after an hour and 22-minute walk. And I call her. I said, hey, what are you doing? She goes, I just got home. You need a ride? And I'm like, yeah, I'm about a mile away. So she came and picked me up.
Now, did you keep walking after you called her, or did you wait for her to just pick you up there?
No, I walked a little longer. I told her I'll be at the corner a little farther down the road, and it all worked out good. But like that whole encounter of like the timing, of course, like nobody hardly ever goes down that road.
No.
And of course, when I'm shimmying under a fence on my back, coming out of like a flower garden, I mean, it's only
with your laptop bag.
With my laptop bag. This is stuff of a sitcom. Oh. I don't know. This is my life.
I don't know.
On a Saturday.
I don't think we can go any further than that. I don't think we can top that story.
No, and this was brought to you for no particular reason at all or purpose, but just to share.
It just gets to know us a little bit better. Right. More so you on this story. But I mean, I know that area. I know that Fox River Grove area. What a great town!
It is.
It's a village, actually. I believe. I don't believe it's a town.
Oh,
It's just a village of Fox River Grove.
Some nice homes in there that you don't notice when you're driving.
Right, and that's a steep hill. Like, especially if you go up from like Algonquin Road School up the hill to the water tower.
Mm-hmm.
That can be a little tiring. The going down, not so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've played plenty of hours on that playground and played some two-hand touch football, probably in that parking lot, and maybe in the field during recess back in the day.
Yeah. Well, there was a fleeting second where I thought I could text Donald and see if his parents could give me a ride. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's too weird.
Yeah, because that's right in their backyard.
It was, yeah.
And like, also now as you're talking, I was thinking, the creek that runs along there?
Yeah.
Oh, going into 7th grade year, I remember spending a lot of time there trying to catch insects and butterflies and bugs for our insect collection we had to do in 7th grade.
That is a fast-flowing creek. I've noticed that a lot, and I don't know what the name of the creek is, but it's a nice creek.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure now the playground there is called Stanger Park, which is named after, I think his first name was Robert Stanger, who was like the superintendent when I was a kid there.
Okay.
So.
Wow. You hung out near the creek catching crawdads, huh?
Oh, I had, we had that bug collection for Mrs. Powell, 7th grade.
Hey, nice.
Since you confessed a little bit, I'll confess.
Okay.
I might have, well, I know I did, use some of my brother's insects that they caught for theirs, and especially because my middle brother Tim, he had this amazing one, like it was a giant ichnia or something. It was the insect.
Okay,
and
I've never heard of that.
I'll show you after because I don't want to move my computer around.
Yeah.
But we caught that, and like we saved that bad boy for my.
It was a rare find. It sounds like.
Yeah, it was a rare find indeed. And I can't even know how to spell it. So yeah, I don't know. We're just going to end it on that, I think.
The rare ichnia.
Yeah, something like that. I obviously it stuck with me, that name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So just thank everybody for listening.
Yeah, to the legends of Fox River Grove.
Oh yeah, thank you everybody, and God's blessings. PD and P-Dubs Unscripted.